One of the first toys I ever had as a child was a little plastic yellow trumpet. It must have been given to me as a baby because I don't remember when it arrived or from where. The trumpet had 3 buttons you could actually push. One was red, one was white, and one was sky blue. And when you pressed those buttons, actual music came out of that little yellow trumpet. It only had one song. Like magic, no matter what button you pressed, the melody of Mary Had a Little Lamb would tinkle out exactly at the speed you played. The effect was enchanting, making me, aged 3 or 4, think I was capable of playing this song from memory by myself. I remember proudly performing for my family and thinking I must be a musical prodigy because I just couldn't play a wrong note, no matter what button I pressed. As I got older, I suppose I worked out the truth. The buttons activated a music box inside which turned as you played. A little disappointing, but a cool spell while it lasted. I held onto this toy trumpet and I still have it in a box, high up in a cupboard, which is strange because I didn't keep many other toys from my childhood. Just one teddy bear, Teddy, a round wooden box with a Taurus bull painted on it and a green birthstone inside. Also a zip-up case of CDs with mixes I made, though the portable Walkman I played them on is long gone. I think I must have known at some level that this trumpet would hold a significance for future me, because against all odds, it's still here, and it still tinkles out Mary Had a Little Lamb just the same, whatever buttons I push. This trumpet has come to illustrate a valuable lesson I've learned on the creative path. Let me see if I can explain it. You see, my creative path has rarely turned out how I thought it should. Many of the things I planned or expected ended up working out very differently, at least so far. I have a Pinterest board called My Life at 28, which is full of images I put together when I was about 21, studying on my performance degree, and I'd recently learned about manifesting. Now, scrolling through these images at 30, I feel both bemused and a little disappointed for my younger self and her optimism. Images representing great financial success, accolades, home ownership, shiny kitchen appliances, a lush garden beyond sliding doors, huge theatre auditoriums and a Broadway sign, Beyoncé holding a Grammy. It's deeply humbling how different my creative path has been so far from the one I expected when I was 5, 16 or 21. It's such a wide chasm that at times I still feel totally thrown off, suddenly looking around at my life with a panicky feeling that I'm letting it all slip away. My path has twisted into unexpected places over and over again. In fact, my path may be entirely made up of twists, making it, a spiral maybe? For a long time, I mainly blamed the pandemic, which arrived 6 months after I graduated and certainly threw a spanner into the first official years of my career. But truthfully, no other significant beat in my story was planned for either. For example, I dreamed of doing a degree in acting, but after 3 years of auditioning and maybe 20 rejections, I ended up being accepted onto another degree at a drama school where I could develop as a multidisciplinary artist, learning poetry, event production, percussion, and socially engaged practice on top of making theatre and music. And that degree ended up giving me the space to explore my self-expression, which in hindsight was way more aligned with my values and who I was at the time. Then I never intended to direct youth theatre. I just needed a job and I fell into an assistant facilitation role through serendipitous events. 7 years later, making theatre with young people had become some of the most important and genuinely fulfilling work of my life, a space where the leader in me was nurtured and called to step up before I even really consciously looked for her. I didn't plan to sing in a function band either, but my brother started one and he invited me to join. It ended up helping to cure my post-pandemic stage fright and taught me to perform without a fourth wall. In other words, actually face and interact with an audience without going into a nervous system freeze. Now I get paid to travel and sing with my brother and my friends, and I've learned so much about branding and marketing a business. Honestly, I didn't even plan to start a creative community. In fact, I resisted it for years, secretly knowing deep down it was part of my calling, until one day the decaf bubble sort of fell into my lap, which is a story for another time, and running a business became one of the most creatively fulfilling and life-changing things that I've experienced by far. Looking back on all of these examples, I can see that there was something stronger than my will guiding me. I believe in God, but I also believe in free will, and I don't believe that these things happened without my participation, despite often feeling like I was banging my head against a brick wall. What I observe about the choices I made is a deeper part of me, a subconscious part maybe, was choosing what was more authentic every time, choosing what I was ready for rather than what my ego thought my life should look like. Choosing the spaces where I would grow, be seen, be truly nourished, and actually gain the skills I needed to become the person and the artist I wanted to be. Because in hindsight, I needed much deeper roots than I had to handle the kind of attention I wanted. And you know what I find most significant as I look back now? I see an unmistakable through line, a golden thread that was there all along. It's like a signature in every little thing I've ever done and every choice I've ever made. Like there's a perfect order, even in moments that felt messy or wrong at the time. Even in art I made that I hated, jobs that I cringed through, things on my degree that I dragged my feet about, aborted attempts that were chalked up as failures. I see the same themes, symbols, and energies in the things I made. I see skills being developed that I didn't even think to seek out, but would later be essential. I see how I was being chiseled and polished by every era, even the ones where I felt totally lost. When I can quiet down the self-comparison, I'm aware of a kind of unique beauty that unites everything, almost like a melody playing as a result of all of my efforts. Every button I ever pushed, the same melody coming out, a little bit clearer each time. Could it be that we really can't fuck it up? To me, so far, there has been no evidence that we can even play a wrong note. The only thing that has ever hindered my creativity was the idea that there was a so-called correct mold that I had to fit. One image of success, a deadline for certain achievements. These were the ways I tried to force myself to play the song I thought I should play, rather than discover my own song through curiosity and listening. Ironically, in the moments I thought I was so in control, my song was coming out anyway. Just the fact that I was taking action was making the melody play, and there was nothing I could do about it. So that is what my little yellow trumpet reminds me of. What's inside me is a song. It's the frequency of my soul. It's unique, and it's mine alone to play. It's bigger than any achievement or project or job. It will come out whether I pick up a paintbrush or stand on a stage or start a YouTube channel. To me, this means freedom. There is less onus on what we do and more just on the necessity that we do something, make choices. When we freeze up trying to make the right choices, our song can't play. But when we stand up and push the buttons and even pretend to know what we're doing with the confidence of my inner 4-year-old, somehow there it is. I hope this idea doesn't feel limiting. I don't want you to interpret what I'm saying to mean that no free will is involved. To me, it's the opposite, the ultimate permission slip to make choices based on what feels right at the time. If the same song is coming out anyway, I figure I might as well focus on how it feels, not how it looks. That feeling of inspiration, enthusiasm, eros, and fun is what we're chasing on our creative path anyway. And I've learned those feelings can find you in the most unexpected twists in the path. So sing a song, then make a painting, draw something, learn to code or edit or sew, start a YouTube channel, study physics or astrology or life drawing. Everything you try will have you infused through it. Don't get too hooked on the right vessel for a project or an idea. Don't try an end game. Just make it lots of different ways, like a scientist in a lab testing hundreds of combinations. If you have the soul of an artist, your essence is going to shine through no matter what you do. So fuck it. Be kind to yourself. Learn to love the song that's already coming out, instead of drowning it out with the noisy ideas of what it should be. If you pay attention, you might discover it's actually very beautiful. Even the moments you stop, those precious silent pauses between notes are what give them life. You aren't defined by a CV or what you did or achieved. You're a melody. And the more you play, the more resonant you become. So pick up an instrument and play with the audacity of a 4-year-old who thinks she's a prodigy, because she's right. There really is no wrong note.